Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. So I'm reading today for Aries energy. You don't have to be an Aries sun sign for this to resonate. You could just be having strong Aries energy going on for you in some way or another at the minute. So I'm sorry your reading's late, Aries. Happy birthday as well, Aries season, birthday season, brilliant. I hope you all have a brilliant birthday and a very lovely year. But Aries, I'm having a bit of trouble with your reading. There's kind of a bit of a darker message that's trying to come through that I'm having a bit of difficulty with myself. It's sometimes I get messages that are kind of upsetting for me, and then it's I go through the whole thing of like, it's a message for somebody, they need to hear it, but I want to keep things kind of light on my channel, but this is kind of dark. Do I want to upset anyone? What if I trigger people? So I actually did do your reading yesterday and I uploaded it, and it was quite late anyway because I've had a week, and I just couldn't post it. I thought there's something in here that I'm uncomfortable with. So I'm trying to do it again. I'm trying to deliver the message in a way that's going to acknowledge it, and then we're going to move on to the card reading. So I'm going to give you the message, we're going to clear the energy, and then we're going to see what the cards say. So it started with this. Basically, I was seeing this deck. So it's a really, really cheap and cheerful. Something about the eye, maybe iris, could be something for somebody. But I was kind of really, really drawn to this deck, and it's kind of like an old, scruffy, cheap deck. It was like the first tarot deck that I got with it was like a really cheap Teach Yourself tarot deck, which came with this deck. So I don't tend to use it very often. Sometimes I use it to kind of tune into the energy. I've got your sign over here, the Fool card, which is your card in the tarot. But I was kind of seeing, the visual that I was seeing was somebody on a horse, and they were specifically facing in this direction. So I went through the deck and I knew it wasn't like the Knight of Wands or the Knight of Swords because they face in the other direction. So definitely Knight of Pentacles or the Knight of Cups. And the thing that I could see really, really clearly, even though I felt like they were on a white horse, what I could see very clearly was the hand like this. So if you look closely at these two cards, it was like a little bit of detective work. He's kind of got his hand clenched around the cup, but he's got his hand out like this. And then what I was seeing in the hand, which is not part of the tarot, was the fish that's in the Page of Cups's cup. So this blue fish. So it seems to be some kind of joke or prank. It's like, because the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups can be somebody coming towards you with something to give to you, some kind of offer, a gift, a declaration of love, but it's a fish. So it just seems to be like a surprise. It could be a surprise gift, because the fish in the cup on the Page of Cups indicates something unexpected, a surprise. How did the fish get in the cup? And you can see the kind of laughing. So I think I'm dealing with somebody, and it could be somebody that somebody's connected to. I'm getting a youthful energy, like a child energy, that somebody's connected to. It could be that this child is an Aries. That's kind of my inclination. It could be that somebody has just this lively, energetic, surprising, very fun-loving child. Now, don't be thinking, yeah, that's me, because a lot of children are like this, right? So don't be thinking, yeah, that's me, because there's something around it. But the energy of this child feels really good. It's like they want to surprise you, they want to joke, they want to pull pranks. It feels really, really good. So I'm going to kind of move on from that. The next really interesting thing for me is I was trying to pull all your cards out, or all the cards that kind of represent Aries energy to me, to kind of like use them to tune in and kind of dial into the reading. So I got the Fool out, and I found the Emperor, who's there, and I was looking for the Page of Wands, because the Page of Wands is a very Aries energy for me. And I went through the deck and I couldn't find it, and I went through the deck again, and I went through the deck backwards, and I can't find the Page of Wands. It's not in there. And I was really, really getting hiding. So I don't know if it's in there and I'm just having like a blind spot where I can't see it, but I can't find the Page of Wands in this deck. So I don't know if, again, with this young energy that's coming through, I don't know if somebody's playing like, they're playing hide and seek, they like to, in the reading that I didn't post, I was getting this energy of somebody who likes to jump out and yell, surprise! It's like, you know, they like to kind of jump scare people, that kind of thing. It's like very good natured though, like jump out, surprise! Again, with this unexpected energy. So it just comes through with hiding, like a kid who likes to hide, perhaps. What's also very interesting, and this is why I'm sure there's a message to this for you, that I'm sure there's some kind of message coming through with this like hide and seek energy, or like this kid hiding and jumping out and yelling surprise and being somewhere where you didn't expect them to be. Because when I pulled this deck out, and I haven't shuffled this, all the others are shuffled, but I pulled the deck out and there was the Page of Wands on the underlying. It's like, surprise, I've surprised you, I'm here. So again, it's this kind of like a kid jumping out at you and yelling surprise, kind of from the bushes, you know, in the park. So there's definitely some kind of message to that. What else do I have? So let me just grab my notes. So with this energy that was coming through in the last reading, it was coming through potentially either you or this energy. Their name could start with an E, and I was also getting like an L sound, so I was also getting elephants, and the name Valerie, which has that kind of EL noise in it. So I was kind of getting, won't you come on over, Valerie? So again, this energy of like maybe a friend asking somebody to come round. And also really the line, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. So again, it could be somebody who's very adventurous. Definitely if you've got like a fire sign child, Aries, Sagittarius was coming through quite strongly. So it's like, you know, they want that independence. They want to be able to go out by themselves. Maybe they don't have a very good hazard awareness. Again, this kind of the Fool energy is there's no hazard awareness there. He's so busy looking at where he wants to go that he's not noticing that he's stood on this kind of like very cracked cliff top. The dog's kind of trying to warn him and pull him back. So I don't know if somebody's had some sort of accident. I don't like these readings. I'm uncomfortable with the messages that are coming through. So I was getting, Valerie, why don't you come over, Valerie? Sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water. And I was also getting, for a different energy, it didn't feel like it was the same energy. It felt like it was an older female energy, probably middle age, who took on a lot of burdens by themselves. It's like they took on everybody else's problems. It was like, I've got really broad shoulders, perhaps again with the elephant energy. I've got really broad shoulders. Give your problems to me, I'll sort them out for you, kind of Capricorn-like energy. Yeah, kind of like 10 of Wands, that kind of energy. And what they were giving me for this was, if you know the movie Encanto, without too many spoilers, the older sister, the character of the older sister, she's very big, she's got these kind of broad shoulders. I was kind of getting this kind of more you know, like somebody with like a thick, like sexy thick body, you know, like sort of a sturdy body. And yeah, it's like, I've got broad shoulders, I can carry the weight of all the family's burdens, very Capricorn. You know, I'll take responsibility for all this stuff, but under the surface, kind of like having that cracking. But again, with like under the surface, and I go out and I look across the water, and with the accident energy that's coming through, I think if you've got a young kind of adventurous child, just keep an extra eye on them at the moment. Yeah. I was also getting something, it was tied into, what letter was it? Hang on, IV. It was V. I had IV and E as initials. Was it V? Yes, it was. So with the V, was it V? Yeah, it was. Sorry, I'm just questioning myself now. And maybe somebody's got this, because there was, I think, one of the clarifying words was like cloudy memory or something like this for Valerie or V. I'm calling them Valerie now, which is interesting because I was getting more of a Victor or Vivian or Violet kind of sound, I think, or Va. I don't know. Right, okay, so moving swiftly on. They could have been something with this person's mouth, especially underneath the tongue. So, or it could be symbolizing that this person can't get the words out properly. I was kind of getting tongue-tied. Now, I don't know if this is referring to somebody when they were a baby, because I was also getting this kind of like milk in the mouth, like posseting. Definitely tied into the elephant energy, whatever that is. So it was this energy of like milk coming, like almost like clotted milk coming out of the mouth and it tasting bad. So yeah, I don't know if somebody had when there were a baby, like issues with tongue tie, if you know what that is, it means that the baby has a lot of trouble attaching to when they feed. And yeah, maybe because they're not attached properly, it causes a lot of air to get in, which causes a lot of posseting. Or it could be something like a milk intolerance with a baby, especially if they're having trouble attaching at the breast. Could be trying to bottle feed, but they're having, they don't like the formula, something like this, but definitely that kind of milk in the mouth and it tasting bad. Could be something associated with the fish as well. I don't know. Yeah, so these kind of difficult energies coming through. There's something, it's like there's something not right, that feeling of there's something not right coming through. So if you think there's something not right, I want to say trust your instincts. Yeah, I was also getting this really difficult energy of somebody doing something that they didn't want to do because it was hurting somebody. It was bad for somebody that they loved. So again, it could be this feeling of like, especially if you're a mother, you've got a young baby and you're giving it milk and it's getting sick. It's that could be, it's that kind of thing. It's like doing something. It's almost like somebody making you do something that you don't want to do because it doesn't feel right. It's like it's the person you love is and it's coming through as a younger energy, doesn't like it. I in this thing that I had, the person did turn around and say, no, I'm not doing it. They stood up against the person who was trying to make them do something that they didn't want to do. I'm leaving that there now because I again, super uncomfortable with whatever it is that's coming through. I don't like it. So I'm going to cleanse that. I'm going to clear that energy. I'm going to drop all that and we're going to go into your reading fresh. So let's get you some, I'm going to completely leave it there. I'm going to go into the reading completely fresh. So maybe pause the video yourself, take a few deep breaths, also kind of like rid yourself of whatever that is. And I will see you in a minute. Okay, Aries, let's get on with your reading. So, energy cleansed. I've even got my window open to kind of let the air flow. I drank some water. We're good. I've also shuffled this deck. What's interesting is I spied the King of Wands. So I don't know if there's a message coming through about somebody that you've not seen for a long time. Maybe you knew this person as a child and then you kind of run into them as an adult and they've kind of matured. And it's a surprise to see them. And again, with that, something about fish possibly could be coming through. Okay, let's get you some letters. So how do people know if this is a reading? Let's get some letters. So this could be your initial, an initial of somebody that you know, somebody that you're thinking of, an ancestor. Could be it could just make a random word pop out to you that makes you think of something. Just roll with whatever you get. Really getting strong guidance for you to use your own intuition at the moment. So yeah, let's see how we go. That's funny. I know an Aries that I haven't seen since I was a child. Well, since I was maybe like a teenager, young adult, I kind of ran into them again. And their name begins with R, and I wonder if I'm going to run into them. That'd be really interesting. I'd be very glad to see them. Oh my God. Can you guess the name? So if... E seems important. Again, that young E energy coming through. Okay, whatever you get from that. So because it kind of made me think of a specific person and a memory, I'm going to kind of run through that with you, just in case it's significant to you in any sort of way. So the person that I'm thinking of, I was friends with him and his sister, and I used to go around to the house and kind of stay over, very much like my childhood friends. My parents and their parents were friends, and yeah, I really, really loved them, and I always felt I was a very awkward child, but I always really enjoyed being around them. And like they were brother and sister, they used to fall out and it was awful because I was friends with them both and I'd be really stuck in the middle. I wouldn't want to take sides. I was like, please don't let me take sides. But we used to go into the brothers' room and play computer games. And I tended to watch quite a lot because I don't know. They were Aries, right? Like they were like, I want to play the computer game. I'm really good at this. Watch me go. But I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed watching them play the computer games, and I just spam buttons. Like it's funny. Street Fighter came through for Capricorn, which turned out to be something I'll talk about when I get to Capricorn's reading. But yeah, like that playing the old 80s computer games. So this could be really significant for somebody. So yeah, and it's kind of, I think, where I got a lot of the love of computer games from, because I think at the time, or definitely at one point, I didn't have a console, and they kind of had all the games, right? Yeah, so I really enjoyed like spending that time there at their house and playing computer games with them. I've got a lot of happy memories attached to that. Okay. So we've got, oh, there could be something to do with faith, or again, this can indicate burdens, that kind of 10 of Wands energy, responsibilities, burdens, loyalties, faith, all these kind of things is what's coming through with that today. So 6 of Wands, there could be some success tied to this. Okay, let's keep going. What else plays for Aries? These are kind of like what's going on generally. Message of concern, yeah. Message of concern. So you could be receiving some sort of message from someone. It could cause you to be concerned. It could be a message telling you that someone else is concerned. Again, it could be hearing from somebody that you've not heard from quite a while. Okay, I was really drawn to this deck as well. Didn't want to use it. I was resisting it, but I kept on getting called back to it. There's something in this deck for you. So let's see. Let's see what wants to come out here. Please, for Aries. Message for Aries. Oh, hello. So we've got storm warning. Yeah, I knew it. There are storm warnings. If you've seen this, I think it's sort of Texas way. I may be wrong. Tell me Massachusetts. Is Texas in Massachusetts? I am bad with American geography. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to admit it right here. But I'm here in Massachusetts. Yeah, I've just generally in that area in America, there's been these like big tornadoes. Like seeing it on social media, to me, in a place where, you know, if we get a tornado, it's like a weak Tasmanian devil. It's like, oh, look at that leaf blowing. So but like this, it was like full on kind of Twister or Wizard of Oz stuff. I saw this clip of a car getting blown over and then getting back on its tires and driving away. So if you live in an area where you know, you experience big storms or you experience tornadoes or anything like this, even if you have the slightest inclination that things might not be safe, again, trust that instinct, trust your gut. If something's telling you something isn't right, you're gonna want to move. I watched something called Life After Death, this series about, he's called Tyler something, he's got like a medium in America, in LA, and there was a heartbreaking, absolutely, like I was again feeling it now, heartbreaking story about somebody that didn't trust their instincts when they had a big weather warning. So trust the weather warnings right now. If you feel like you need to do something, do it. All tied up. Again, message of concern. There could definitely be, I mean, it doesn't have to be literal weather, right? It's metaphorical. So there's definitely something coming in for you where you're getting some sort of message or notification. There's going to be some concern around it. It's like drama's coming your way, things are going to kick off, something like this. They just, with all tied up, it does have this feeling of like, but I can't move, I can't get out. It could be that somebody has, again, this could be like a relative for you. If you have a relative who's who lives somewhere where there's going to be like some kind of upheaval or some kind of chaos or energy, and perhaps they've got mobility issues. Perhaps it's they're showing me like legs and a wheelchair, so it could be something to do with like mobility issues. You know, maybe they're not very mobile, maybe they don't have a car. You may want to go and get them out that area. Kind of, again, your energies, and there's a lot of anxiety energy collectively at the moment, which I'm having a lot of trouble with. For me, it came through around the time of the full moon in Virgo, because Virgo is a very anxious energy. So I'm not saying anything's definitely happened. I'm not predicting anything, but you may find yourself personally that you're a little bit extra worried. Again, you don't tend to be a very worried energy. You tend to be a little bit like, we'll deal with that situation when it comes, you know, like kind of minute by minute, reactive, that this is happening, okay, let's move. You're very quick. You are a quick moving energy, very reactive, very impulsive, very fast to respond. Some of you could be like rapid responders in some sort of way, like that could be confirmation. My phone's going, so that could definitely be confirmation. Like ambulance workers, something like this, like rapid response, like firemen. So it could feel like there's something about your calling to do this as well. Like you feel divinely guided to work in like rescue, something like that. I'm definitely getting like this rescue energy too. Okay, let's pull you a full 9-card spread and see what we get. So Aries, please. Aries, Aries, Aries. There's that 10 of Wands. Told you. Under the surface, that big sister from Encanto. So you could definitely be with those. I actually had 3 energies coming through in the other reading that I did. The first energy was somebody who's very, very fussy, you know, the sort of people who faff around. So it could be like you're trying to get out of a place because there's like, right, okay mum, the storm's coming in, and mum's like, okay, let me just rearrange the flowers so they look nice when we come back, and let me just wash these plates, I don't want to leave the plates. And you're like, stop faffing, stop fussing, let's get out of here. So it was a very fussy energy. It also was coming through with an association with cars. So it's like the dad going, let me just top up the oil in the car, let me just check the tires. So that kind of like faffy, fussy energy could be Virgo. It was coming through with the letter I, so that could definitely be something for somebody. And then this kind of, you're coming through kind of more with the V energy of like, kind of shouldering everybody's burdens, like this responsibility is on me because of the 10 of Wands there. And then there was this like young energy. It's like, oh, now it's the funny time to hide, and you're like, you shouldn't be hiding now, get in the car, we need to get out of the way of this tornado. So it's probably not literal. The way that the messages come through in readings is like big. It's like, it's always like a big dramatic I'm watching a movie message, and when it actually plays out for people, it's normally a lot, it's not that dramatic. So it could just be, oh, we need to go and pick somebody up from the train station, you know, the trains aren't running for some reason, like we've got to go and pick them up. So it can play out in a much more mundane level. So please don't get scared. I'm not trying to scare anyone. There you are, anxiety. Yeah, anxiety, stress, sorry. Let's keep going. Let's get all your cards out so I can actually see what's going on here. Yeah, definitely somebody's mother, or you're a mother, or what, it can be wife, but I'm really getting mother energy from that Empress today. Double Libra, because someone could have like a Libra placement or be dealing with a Libra. Okay, definitely like, I don't want to leave my house. Like, I've got to pick up all my stuff, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until I've changed the oil. Yeah, it feels like parents. Strength and... Okay, we'll clarify, don't worry. Okay, yeah, decision. There's a decision to be made. Right, let's see what we've got. So your major arcana, then you've got the Empress, Justice, Wheel of Fortune, Strength and Death. There's a lot going on. It's heavily weighed at the bottom here, which is your action space. So there's a lot of action that you're taking or wanting to take, and this is where most of the energy is, which doesn't surprise me, Aries, being a very action-based sign. I think you want to move quickly on something. You see an opportunity, you want to move quickly, but it feels like you're dealing with people around you who perhaps are, they're carrying a lot of baggage. I'm getting this thing about like people wanting to take, it's like you're going to the airport and people have got like massive suitcases and all the suitcases won't fit in the car. And you're like, why are you bringing so much stuff with you? It's got that kind of energy to it of like it just feels like weighed down or too much stuff, just with this energy here and this energy here. Does definitely feel like mum. Right in the center of your reading, you've got this Justice card. So the Justice card can talk about karma, especially with the Wheel of the Year being here, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Things turning in your favor. It can also talk about legalities, contracts, like the justice system. So it could, some kind of legality there in the center playing out for you. There's an energy of something that's kind of behind closed doors with these two cards next to each other. The veil that's behind it kind of signifies decisions being made behind closed doors, like you're not privy to it. And with the closed door there as well, I'm kind of really getting that. It's like you feel a little bit shut out of a decision that's being made, possibly. Okay, so right in your current energy, right here, we've got emotionally a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety. It's like your emotions are all in your head, or your head's all in your emotions, something like this. Like um there's something going on emotionally that's causing you a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. You're really, really worried about it. You could feel very emotionally drained, can relate with the stuff that's been going on for me this week. So just emotionally exhausted, like emotionally, I haven't got anything left to give here. In your thoughts, you're thinking about this justice energy. So thinking about karma, contracts, legalities. It's like you're very, it's kind of like very analytical and very practical at the same time. So it's like, if you are planning on taking a trip somewhere, it could be like, do we have our passports? Do we have our visas? Do we have a green card? How do we apply for a green card? How do we? I'm getting actually a lot of references just generally through the things that I'm running into randomly, like on YouTube, and kind of just generally, I'm seeing a lot of stuff about relocation. Um, I was watching, for example, a video this morning about Italy. It was a place beginning with C. I can't quite think of the name right now. In southern Italy, and it's this whole like almost like medieval or like classical village that's completely fallen into disrepair and been abandoned. Sintas, could be Sintas, and that's what I'm hearing. And it's basically they had like a series of like mudslides and landslides and um a lot of problems, like an earthquake, and it just became uninhabitable. Like gradually everybody started to move away, and um yeah, and now it's been completely abandoned. It was a really interesting video about these guys who were like, I think they were German, and they were kind of exploring the ruins of this place. So getting that kind of relocation vibe, especially like look, everybody's leaving this place, and you know, maybe some kind of like parent or grandparent who's kind of like, no, this is my home, I'm refusing to leave. This came through as well. I remember this coming through in a reading before, and I don't know, maybe it was Aries, maybe it wasn't. But yeah, this is like sorting out legalities. Like maybe you've got somebody who's abroad and you're trying to get them to come to you. Maybe there's something going on in the country that they're in, and you're like trying to get them to come to you so that they can be safe, and they're out of that kind of like chaos zone. It could be talking again, collectively, if I'm picking up on collective energy, we can see this with what's happening in the news at the moment. There's a lot of people who are leaving their country and relocating, and refugees and things like this. So you could be thinking about, how do I open my home to people who need a home? But there's this thing about trying to carry too much baggage. Here you're showing a lot of strength, and you're showing a lot of confidence, and you're showing a lot of compassion. It's a really nice card, actually. Leo energy, could have Leo in your chart, could be dealing with a Leo, but it's like the friend, right? The friend, the companion, somebody who's always going to be there, an unbreakable bond, two people drawing strength from one another, it's there's a two-way relationship there with the lion and the woman on the card. It can also obviously indicate that inner strength and that inner confidence, which you're showing in your action space. So you're kind of standing up, you're being a bit of a again, really getting this energy of you being the strong person in the family, because they were giving me that Encanto song, and with this like faith here, tradition, family, lineage, burdens, culture, traditions, all this kind of stuff coming through here. The 10 of Wands being the straw that broke the camel's back, carrying everybody's burdens, carrying everybody else's baggage, having the broad shoulders. But the lovely thing about this, because this is your past emotions, it's like, even though you feel very drained and very exhausted, it's like you're almost there. It's just a few steps until you get home. You just can't quite see how you're going to get there. It's like, where's the bridge? So you're almost there, I want to say. And there could be a moment of again, this like all tied up in justice. This could be like red tape, again, like admin, government stuff. Especially with this can indicate like the government, kind of Hierophant energy. So it's like you're almost there. It's like you can see the finish line, but there's a few more things that you need to kind of, it just feels like fighting through red tape. And then getting really emotionally drained, but it's like putting on a brave face for others, like being the strong person for others, even though you kind of, whatever's going on, like intellectually, is like with the brain, with the head, like the stress, it's emotionally exhausting you. So in the past here as well, in the past, in your thoughts is this Empress energy. It could be you again being like, I'm the one who can shoulder all these burdens. I'm the one who can take on everybody's problems and kind of solve them. I'm the strong person here. I'm the oldest sister of the family. I'm, you know, the person that everybody relies on. So it could be you thinking of yourself that way, which is brilliant, and I can definitely 100% see you doing that. But don't wear yourself out. You know, sometimes you need to sit down and rest. And this is showing me definitely the need to emotionally rest in your current situation. But again, I'm really getting like mother from this. So definitely something to do with somebody's mother or grandmother. Calm down, ambulance. Or don't, because you're doing an important job. Like, again, kind of the everything that's in a reading is part of the reading. So there's definitely somebody who's like working in rapid response or first response, that kind of like ambulance, fire kind of energy. Could be that somebody's pregnant as well, which, oh, it's that horrible thing. You know, you hear stories about people who are in labor and it's like they're trying to get out of, you know, like in California when they had the wildfires. I remember hearing a story about a woman who was in labor and she was like, oh my God, I've got to get through the wildfires. It's like, and I remember like when I was giving birth to my son, and I arrived at the hospital and literally it was like, he's ready, he's on the way, and being like trying to get up to the maternity floor, which was like one floor up, and like being like waiting for the elevator because I couldn't take the stairs because I was in so much pain, and like not horrible pain though, it's like labor pain, and being like crouched next to the lift, like waiting for the lift, having a contraction, and this nurse coming down, like this midwife coming down the stairs and be like, oh my God, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm just getting upstairs. So then they arrive with a wheelchair for me. But yeah, it's that like it's really hard to move if you're heavily pregnant. So the wheel of the year, in the past you felt like things were turning in your favor. You felt like the wheels were moving. You felt like, I'm hearing greasing the wheels, which is interesting because you were getting that car and oil reference. So it's definitely, somebody could be like a mechanic. Somebody could like be a mechanic for ambulances or something like that. But yeah, this kind of, well, that's interesting. They kind of started to give me something there, which I'll come back to because it felt like a personal message. Yeah, like Wheel of Fortune, spin that wheel. Like taking a gamble, taking a risk. Okay, and then here in your current situation, you've got this emotionally, again, this is your emotions up here, like trying to see things from a different perspective or putting yourself in someone else's shoes. It's like you're ready to move, you're ready to get going. You're like, it could be like that situation of like, again, going back to kind of, I've got a relative, I want them to come to me because the place that they're in is you know, not livable, not viable anymore. Like, why aren't they coming? Like, I'd be on the first boat. It's like, yeah, you'd be on the first boat, but from this person's perspective, if they spent the whole life in that home, in that community, they could naturally be very reluctant to leave it. So I think there's going to be some benefit to you from seeing something emotionally from a different perspective here. It's like that's going to be the key to unlock something. Here with the future thoughts, this Four of Pentacles, suddenly you have this guard that goes up. Suddenly you have this like shielding energy, which I'm going to ask more about. And then the Death card sat here in your future action space. So don't panic. It doesn't necessarily mean a literal death. There's different ways we can interpret that, so I will clarify that and we'll figure out what that is. And again, it's a general reading. Don't panic. Don't get in this energy. It's not going to do you any good. Don't panic. It's a general reading. It's not a personal reading, and the Death card can mean many different things. So I'm really struggling, like definitely seems to be a bit of a blockage here with your energy and with its effect on me, because this is how I've been feeling, this emotionally drained. So it feels like I've been picking up on your energy, whoever I'm reading for. So I definitely feel it's really a feeling of like I've got nothing left to give. Especially I had this exact scenario this morning where I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, and it has been it's been a lot of kind of like dealing with government bodies, right? Different government bodies, different institutions, different legalities, paperwork, that kind of like Hierophant energy, but it's got a huge emotional reason behind it. So I've been doing the stuff that you need to do, doing it in a very organized, very efficient, very like I've got control over this situation. I know the resources that are available to me. I can deal with this. But having that emotional backbone behind it has been very, very draining. And so I finally thought, like, right, I've got everything sorted now. We can continue, like, we know where we stand, everybody's organized, right? Like, today is my day now. I can do my readings, I can do what I need to do. And then something happened this morning as well, and it was relatively a minor thing, but it still gave me this energy of like, this is something emotional for me to deal with. And again, same situation, emotions and kind of that Hierophant energy of institutions. And I was like, I just kind of, institutions, not like the madhouse or anything like that, but yeah, I was just like, I've not got anything left to give. I need to replenish my energy now. I need to replenish my emotions right now. This situation's a bit too much for me, and luckily I did have other people who I could hand it over to and be like, I need you to sort this one out. I need you to field this ball for me. Baseball references were coming through as well yesterday in the reading, which I'll explain in a sec. And like, luckily I had someone I could rely on in that moment, but not everybody has that. So especially if you're, for example, a single parent, or you're just trying to do everything on your own, when you get to that point where you're like, I've got nothing left to give, it does feel like hitting a brick wall here. Just that kind of energy of I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. In a way that's like, I need to go back to bed. I just can't deal with this situation. I need me time, right? I need to replan my energy before I can help everybody else out. The metaphor that they were giving me for this yesterday was, and I feel like it is for you as well, a lot of the time the things that are happening for me is connected to the energy that I'm reading for. Sometimes it can be quite hard for me to separate my energy from the sign that I'm about to read for. I find like it overlays. I was getting this metaphor of like the universe giving you softballs. So if you know, I don't know baseball, but hopefully I'm explaining this properly in the way that it's being given to me. It's like, I know that sometimes the pitcher can, like, you know, if the pitcher's throwing the ball in the same spot with the same energy every single time, you can actually get into a bit of a habit of hitting that ball back. It becomes too easy, right? So it's like something to do with the universe testing how much they can push you, testing how much they can give to you before you kind of break. Not because they're trying to break you, but they're trying to work out how much you can handle. So it's like, what they were showing me was like the pitcher starting to, instead of throwing the ball straight, it's like when a kid's learning how to play baseball, right? Or tennis. Oh, I was getting tennis really strongly for somebody, so tennis could be something as well. I got a lot of tennis references. I actually saw somebody who's like a middle-aged man in full tennis whites with like the socks and the kind of like what's his name? I can't think of a really famous kind of tennis player. I'm thinking Rick Astley, but he's not Rick Astley. With like the band around his head, like, you know, like he had that kind of like silly hairdo. They kind of like were showing me that then. But I did see this kind of like middle-aged guy in kind of like tennis whites, kind of very enthusiastic. So I don't know if like this is someone's dad teaching a kid how to play tennis and throwing them the ball easily. You know, it's like, I'm going to throw the ball in the same spot so it's easy to hit. And then it's like, okay, they're getting good at that. So now I'm going to start throwing them like curve balls. It was like, the way it was coming through was like soft curve balls. So they're not hard balls. The universe is throwing you like these soft curve balls. It's like, let's throw this in the mix and see how Aries deals with that. And what it actually makes you do is it makes you move your body in a different way. So you're not doing this repetitive action. You're doing something where, you know, you're twisting, you're turning, you're being a little bit more responsive, you're being a little bit more awake because you're being tested. So you don't want to get complacent. You want the universe to test you, but not to the point where you're getting exhausted by it, right? It's like, could be something to do with like a pushy parent. Devil card there. Yeah, maybe pushy parent. Okay, so again, somebody could have like a Capricorn mother. Because I was getting that young elephant energy, and then like this Capricorn mother who's like shouldering all the burdens, like give me all the responsibilities, which was coming through in the reading that I'm not putting up. So let's check your future position. What's the Hangman, please? What's the Hangman for Aries? There's that strength again. So it feels like this is a connection for you that feels like your backbone, like a connection where you get a lot of strength, you get a lot of confidence from this person. Confidence. Maybe this is a confidant. I was saying confidence, but it came out confidant. So yeah, this feels like an unbreakable bond between you and somebody else. But emotionally, you're looking at it from their point of view, I think. Perhaps you can be a little bit, they're telling me soft focus, which wasn't what I was going for, but they're telling me soft focus, so I'm going to tell you. Again, somebody could deal with, I was doing, it could be something with photography. I was getting like lighting blooms for somebody. So that explains that, like cameras. Oh my goodness, come on, too much information. So I'm trying to like backtrack. You can be a little bit, because you're so spontaneous, because you're so much like in the moment, Aries, like what are we dealing with right now? Like what are we doing? Let's go. Sometimes you can forget that other people around you have different perspectives or different needs, and that's not me criticizing you in any sort of way. It's just the brilliant thing about you, like everybody has like a flip side. So your brilliant thing about being in the moment and being spontaneous and thinking on your feet, you don't like to spend too much time worrying about things and things like that, because I think it exhausts you and it gets you out of your natural energy. It's like, leave the worrying to that, whoever that Virgo was, the Virgo dad changing the oil in the car. That's what they're good at. So you're like more impulsive, but yeah, it's like then you suddenly see something from somebody else's perspective emotionally. So there's some sort of, in your thoughts, it's like maybe you're thinking about giving someone a second chance, or you want a second chance from this person, because there's definitely this thing about feeling shut out or feeling locked out of the house, or feeling like maybe somebody who's actually been pushed out the house with all the stuff, right? Pack your bags, get out. But it's like somebody could be being considered for a second chance here, a revival, or it's just this feeling of like your soul calling, like where am I being guided to, where am I being called to, where should, maybe I need to move on from this situation, because maybe it's time. This could be why the death card is here. It's time to, all the signs are showing me that this situation's over and done with, and I'm getting pushed by the universe or called by the universe to take a leap of faith somewhere else, which is kind of your energy, the Fool card, like fresh starts, right? So do you revive something, or do you give it a fresh start, is what you seem to be thinking about in the near future. So this death card then, are you ready, guys? Prepare, because I don't know what this is going to be. Near future, the death card for Aries. Yeah, there's that Wheel of Fortune again. Yeah, no, this is a good death card. I was going to be honest with you. It could go different ways, and I will be honest with you in the readings. I just may not put the readings up, but no, this is a good death card. This is like this is a change of fortune. This is something ending so that something can begin, like a phase ending, a situation ending so that something new can begin. Sometimes if we're in a situation, again, it's kind of curveball energy. Sometimes if we're in a situation for too long and it no longer serves us and there's stagnation there, if the universe is giving you signs that you need to get out of that situation and go somewhere else, you're going to start to see those opportunities. Sometimes we can sit in a situation for much longer than we should do, especially if we feel like, there's other people that depend on us, or, we don't want to leave people behind, and this kind of thing. But if we get to a point where, it's kind of like that jump or be pushed energy, right? Like jump or be pushed. You're the fool. You're meant to take the jump. You're meant to take the leap of faith. You're meant to be starting things. You're meant to be the innovator. You're meant to be doing the new. That's your energy, your natural energy. Again, maybe look at your full chart in the different placements. You may find you've got a lot of earth in your chart, especially like Mars, your Mars sign, which is how you take action. So you may have something that's a little bit slower moving, like Virgo, Mars, Capricorn Mars. I'm really getting that Virgo faffy energy though. So, our full birth chart can have an effect on us. So if you had all Aries in every single placement, you'd be pure Aries energy, but nobody's really like that, right? So you're going to have different things in your chart, and some people may have more kind of earth, and this is kind of like a Cancer card for me. So like Cancerian placements, Libra placements, we've got double Libra. Libra is like I want things to be calm. I want things to be balanced. Libra would be like, okay, I see that we need to make this change. How do we make the transition as smooth as possible? And now they're showing me the reference of when my kids went from like primary school to junior school. The schools handled the transition brilliantly. So they take them into the classroom for a day to meet their new teachers. They'd buddy them up with like children from the older school. So they had someone that they could go to if they needed to find something out. They handled that transition really, really well in a very Libra way, like nurturing way. Yeah, I don't know why this is coming out. Like everything I waffle on about is a message for somebody, right? Somebody could be a teacher. So this is Scorpio though. Scorpio, like this is for me Sagittarius Capricorn. So it's like sometimes if you're in a situation that you're not meant to be in, right? It's not your fate, it's not your destiny, it's not serving you anymore, there's no growth there, and you refuse to leave. Sometimes the universe can cause situations where you're literally pushed out the door and the door is slammed behind you and there's no going back. And that's what this is feeling like. That's what this is feeling like. You're kicked out, you've got your bags in your hand, you can't go back there, but it's even though it's hard to see, and again, this could be the different perspective, even though it's hard to see in the moment, sometimes it can be a huge, huge learning opportunity, or a huge, like the wheel is turning in your favor. So even though perhaps you feel like you're at rock bottom, you don't know what's down the road. It's like you get up, you walk down the street, and you run into, I don't know, you're the person that old friend, right? That old friend from school, and you run into them, you get chatting, and they say, oh my God, I've just started this new business. I have been looking everywhere desperately for somebody with your specific skill set to come on board. Will you come and work on this project with me? I can't believe this. This is divine fecking timing. You've got the wheel of the year twice, right? Whatever's happening for you, Pisces, the universe is doing it. It's happening for you, not to you, right? The universe is getting you where you need to go. Okay? So it's good. It's positive. Whatever's happening, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And it's actually, it's your sun, right? It's your light. It's your destiny. It's for you. So it's good. Okay, so even though it feels perhaps shit, especially if you got kicked out of the house or like you've lost your job, if in that moment, it's like maybe somebody's like living out of the car. In that moment, it feels like rock bottom, right? It feels like the universe has conspired against you. It feels like you've lost everything. It feels like, I don't know, living out your bag, living out your suitcase. Somebody could be in like hotel rooms. It's like, my life, what is this? Is this my life now? No, the universe has just maybe thrown you a hardball because you got so good at batting those curveballs away, right? Okay, where are we? Advice then for Aries. I'm trying to do shorter readings, but it's definitely something going on for my poor Aries is right now. Aries, look, get back into your own bloody energy. It's like the universe is saying, Aries, did you forget who you are? This is what you're good at. This is where you are at your best. When there's that storm coming in, when everybody else is like clinging to the stuff and panicking and saying, what now? You're the one that's like, get in the car, bitches, we're going shopping, right? It's like the best parts of you come out in these moments, especially if somebody has Aries in Mars. Like, wow, that is like, whatever the situation is, we deal with it, and we deal with it fast, and we deal with it intuitively, and we deal with it. We just deal with it. Which is very you. Okay, Aries. Oh my God, you're going somewhere, I can tell. Right. The flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons and you're on the right track. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there is something you want to happen in your life. Take this card as a big yes from the universe. This is a time to really tune into your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are all called for. Like, tell you what, you got the strength card twice. You've got what it takes, Aries, I'm telling you. But the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're asking about. The caution, don't go too fast or forget your manners. Treat people well as you charge towards your goals. Again, back to this thing about seeing things from other people's perspective. Just remember that you're awesome. Of course you're awesome, you're Aries, but just remember that you know, sometimes when the going gets tough, you need to make sure you've got people there who've got your back. And if you like running over everybody's toes all the time, you know, then those people are going to get pushed away. So just, you know, take a moment each day, like maybe get into the habit of like at the end of the day, you know, pick somebody in your contacts and just send them a message like, hey, thinking of you, what's up? Did you get that thing sorted? Like a different person each day, right? And it's just keeping checking in with your network could be really beneficial for you in the future. Treat people well as you charge towards your goals. You'll create much better karma for yourself. And this is good karma. So whatever you've been doing, you've got the Wheel of Fortune in the upright twice. That's really good karma. You've done something right. I tell you what, Aries. Don't even think about giving up. Do your best and be happy with that. Avoid being brash right now. You need a 12-month plan. A new male is coming into your life. So there you go. Positive ending. So definitely feel like you're in the middle of this, right? I definitely feel like whatever this is, like you're right in the middle of that right now, Aries, but it's going to be fine, baby. The universe is doing it for you, not to you. I hope that reading was helpful to you. I'm sorry your reading was late, but I hope you have a brilliant birthday season, Aries. No matter what's going on, the universe loves you and the universe is bringing you. Oh, I was getting that. I was getting that in some songs. I had The Sweetest Thing, which I associate with my birthday because it came through for a Libra birthday thing and it actually turned out really nicely for me. So again, yes, surprise gift. Something could be coming your way, but you could get a joke gift as well. Like, makes sense now, actually, why I was getting that for Aries. All right, do take care of yourselves. I'm kind of excited. I kind of want to know how this plays out for you. Let me know in the comments if you get any like really cool surprises. I'd really, really like to hear that. And of course, leave me a like if you liked, if you thought it was helpful. If you've got a smile on your face right now, hit that like button. Those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. It really helps out my channel and I appreciate you all so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet and you'd like to consider doing that, it's absolutely free. You just hit that subscribe button. You can hit that notification bell as well, and then you'll know when my readings go up, or you should do if YouTube is working properly. Yeah, as always, take really good care of yourselves and I will see you again soon. Bye, Aries. 51:51 on the timestamp. Bye.